It is a Tuesday. It's Christmas Eve. We've got a little bit of weather to talk about. We've got a lot of surf to talk about. We've got some snow to talk about. We've got Christmas to talk about. It's going to be an awesome day. It's going to be an awesome week. Hope you have the week off. Kind of nutty weather-wise. If you're going out to the coast to look at the waves, it's big. Some folks are saying, I mean, these are anecdotal, but I've heard a couple guys on the North Shore saying it's as big as they've ever seen it, some of these waves, especially for the Waimea Bay. Mavericks, I've heard similar comments. I don't think I've heard big as ever, but as big as it gets kind of thing. And then you can see, this is Maui. We used to call this Jaws. The jet skis are out there. I think a couple guys did paddle in. There's a guy here that takes off, but you can't, remember we talked about it yesterday, the paddling in thing isn't happening when your waves are this big. So here's a guy towing in right here. See that? And you'll see that trace. See that trace? That's a human being going right down the face. Oh my gosh. And then he wipes out right there. Wow, right? So that's a whole nother deal. So first thing I would say, I've been warning you guys away from the water now for a long time. Like, it seems like last month it's been big. Indication when you get big swells like this is it's showing you that the storm production center, the Aleutian Islands, is lit. So when you're getting swell in Hawaii, you're getting swell in Northern California, Southern California, these swells have to come from somewhere. They're coming from very powerful winds blowing up in the Aleutian Island area, and then the swell propagates out of these fields. But this giant surf is an indication of the giant weather that's out there. That's the giant weather creates the giant surf. In other words, it's all connected. And of course, we saw what happened yesterday in Santa Cruz. We'll get to that in a minute. This is Power Lines Production, one of my favorite production companies out of Half Moon Bay. Eric Nielsen, he has been doing this forever. Probably, I think, the first guy to shoot Mavericks. And this is, I think that's Peter Mell, who just crushes it. Peter's not a young kid. He's 50, I think. But, I mean, he's just a badass. So, Mavericks was big yesterday. Looks like he paddled into this, which is super impressive. I can't tell if he paddled into it or not. It kind of looks like he did. But either way, still big. Not as big today, but will be big tomorrow. But look what happened in Santa Cruz yesterday. We talked about this a little bit on my Facebook post, but this is the Santa Cruz Pier, which we all know. And we all know the boardwalk's right here. The harbor is over here. Well, the whole front end of the pier from about there to there was broken off during these swells coming into the bay. So steamers laying the lighthouse way out to the right. You're inside the bay, man. Boats anchor in here. But this is, it pulled off the pier. We can see if I go, I think it'll show. Yeah, there you go. So I think that's the restrooms from the end of the pier. I think the Dolphin restaurant too got floated away. But now you got, the scale on this thing, you're like, it's big. This is full on, 8, 10 stall restroom, and light pole is part of the pier. So there's lots of debris floating around in Santa Cruz right now. So it just illustrates when infrastructure starts to go, old infrastructure starts to go, when piers start to go, you got yourself a swell. And I saw some video from yesterday of Santa Cruz Harbor, which did the same kind of thing that it did during the tsunami, where a bunch of water, these big swells, pushed up into it and created a wave, 3-4 foot wave that went in and broke off all the boats. It looked very similar to that tsunami that we had many years ago now, I guess, that went up into the harbor. Tsunami means harbor wave, because this Japanese term, because they really do focus and funnel into harbors. And Crescent City Harbor back in '64, up in Alaska, the Alaska tsunami. This is Mavericks this morning. Not as big, but still spooky big. Conditions, not too bad considering. I don't see anybody out, but it's big. It's going to get bigger again tomorrow and the next day or the next day. This is Santa Cruz. This is Half Moon, or Steamer's Lane, pardon me. And you see, there's nobody out. I was supposed to surf the last couple of days. And I'm like, no, thank you. There's a lot of reasons not to surf, but probably the biggest reason is it's just dangerous. Getting in and out of the water at Steamer's Lane, even though the tide isn't horribly high, extremely dangerous. I mean, even getting in at the Dream Inn, at the beach break there would be an issue. This is San Francisco. This is kind of up by the Cliff House. Cliff House is just to the far right. But what I wanted to pick out here is the whitewater. There's swell, there's waves breaking out in the channel. There's waves breaking out in the potato patch, which is in the shipping channel, which is further to the right that you can't see. But whenever you see waves breaking out there, you don't want to be anywhere near the ocean. So Pacifica Pier dangerous today, Lindemar dangerous today, Ocean Beach dangerous today, Bolinas is even dangerous today because of the, by the ramp there with the big swells coming in. So ocean's going to be dangerous for quite a few days. I can show you what I'm talking about. This is the forecast from Surfline. And yeah, I've seen days go big many days in a row, but this is 10 to 20, 10 to 15, 15 to 20 on Thursday, back to 15 to 20 on Friday. Saturday stays big. It stays big right through the period. And then it starts to mellow out like the first week in January. Those are big swells. I mean, we're getting kind of numb to how big it is, but it's been big for a while. It goes all the way back to Bodega Bay a month and a half ago when we had all those problems with the boaters out there. It's been a lot of swell on the coast, and it's just dangerous. So here is Soda Springs at Castle Peak. Let's see if this loads up. I think it might or might not. It depends. It's been kind of sketchy this morning. The snow levels are a little bit higher with this first round of weather. The snow levels will drop late tonight and early tomorrow. And that'll help. But right now, snow level probably around 6,000 feet. This is, it's 39 degrees here at Soda Springs is what it says. So 39 degrees, it's snowing. You can get snow at 39 degrees, but you can see the flakes. It's a real wet snow up there. So it's going to be kind of a very unsettled period if you're thinking about going skiing up to the mountains for the holidays. It's going to be a lot like this, really right through, at least right through Saturday, probably into Sunday a little bit, just on and off again. So we'll watch that for you. And you're going to have winter weather advisories up there for a while. Again, nothing major, but it's going to snow, and especially above 6,000 feet. Snow levels will drop tonight and tomorrow morning, but then they come back up later in the week. So here is us. Here are us. Here is us. Here we are. And you can see this blue area representing the atmospheric river or subtropical moisture, right? Let's just call it what it is. And then as you push forward, you can see this area. This is on Thursday morning. It kind of touches us, maybe a few showers up in the mountains, but nothing big. And it really comes down to Thursday night, Friday morning. That's the next big event. So Thursday night, Friday morning. Right there, and then it breaks off, and then it goes into the north part of the state. So you can see there's no really sustained atmospheric river. I mean, they're getting called that. All this is just subtropical moisture getting entrained into the flow. I mean, if I get a straight line of blue, like on that map, and it's meridional, it's going from west to east in a flat line right at us, all right, get yourself an AR. But when it's just pieces of subtropical moisture fuel being drawn into these storms, it's just subtropical moisture. But I know it's, I guess that's how we refer to things now, as ARs and not. There's AR 1 through 5. And I don't see anything over AR 2, which I just made that number up. I don't know what but they do have different rankings for the ARs. It's a function of how moist they are and how big they are. Okay, so here is us right now. And then there it goes. That is the shower activity moving through the mountains. Snow levels drop as that little front passes through. And then we kind of clear out all day on Wednesday. Wednesday looks good. This is Thursday night, Friday morning. Is that Thursday night? No, it's Thursday morning, pardon me. And then this, which is just Thursday morning. I wouldn't change my plans over this. But by Thursday afternoon and evening, this, and into Friday morning. So really, right now, the next big thing for us is going to be Thursday night into Friday morning. None of it looks crazy like this. The surf does stay big, though. So that's a real kind of brief weather forecast for you. Hope you have a great holiday. If I can get out, I'll come back tomorrow if there's some weather going on. I'll see you back here.